So the Final Four games finished about an hour and a half ago. They were. The first game was good. Second game was disappointing. Let's start with FAU taking on San Diego State. FAU controlled most of that game. I'm still kind of surprised that they lost. San Diego State just kind of stole it late there at the end. But ultimately, as badly as I want to say that, as badly as I want to say that FAU should have won this game, I don't know if I can. Simply because San Diego State scored 72 points. San Diego State never scores 70 points, ever. They don't do that. That is not what this team does. They defend. They want to keep the game in the upper 50s to low 60s. If San Diego State does that, they beat teams. That is how they win. They do not beat teams by scoring 70-plus points. It's not how they win. And if you're FAU and you give up that many points, it's really hard for me to say that you deserve to win that game. The way they came out in the first half, though, man, they really put it on them. And in the second half, San Diego State made some adjustments. FAU struggled to make some open shots. The next thing you know, San Diego State guy hits a tough pull-up jumper to send them to the national championship game. Great game, though. Still a great run for FAU. They should be just as good, if not better, next year. This is a team filled with a lot of sophomores, a lot of young guys. Obviously, with the transfer portal, some of these guys may be getting up out of there, but at the same time, it's South Florida. I personally wouldn't want to leave. So we'll see how many of those guys transfer out. But if those guys come back, they are going to be just as good, if not better, next year. So we got San Diego State taking on UConn. Let's quickly hit on this dominant game by UConn. Once again, they handled and controlled the game from start to finish. They led by 10 points for the entire game. I mean, from start to finish, they absolutely gave it to Miami. And every time in the second half, this is, I think, the biggest thing. Every time Miami went on a run in the second half, UConn responded. Okay, Miami would have a chance to cut it down to 8. UConn would force a turnover, layup, back up by 14. I mean, every single time. They had no answer for Sonogo underneath, the backup big, the 7'2" white guy. He played really well. He rebounded and protected the rim at an elite level. I mean, he was great off the bench for them. They out-rebounded Miami by 9. And speaking of the rim protection, Miami missed 15 layups in the game. That's 30 points. That's 30 points off of missed layups. That's insane. But, you have to give credit to UConn. I mean, they didn't foul either. I mean, with the way that Miami attacked the rims and attacked the backboards, you would have thought that UConn would have fouled more than what they did. But no, I mean, you looked up with 5 minutes left to go in the second half, and UConn only had 1 foul. I mean, they played defense without fouling. They moved the ball on offense. They rebound. Like I said, they out-rebounded Miami by 9. I mean, and the ball movement on offense. I mean, if you're a basketball guy and you just enjoy watching good offenses put up points, I don't know how you don't love watching UConn. Okay, they made 28 shots. They assisted on 19 of them. Okay, they cut well. They move without the basketball well. I mean, it is so much fun to watch them run their offensive sets. And on top of that, they've got guys who can score one-on-one, and they don't. They're so willing to pass the ball and to move it. Sonogo with another big game, 21 points, 10 rebounds. He dominated offensively. I mean, he was 9 of 11 from the field. Every time he touched the ball, it seemed like he was scoring. I mean, he played great. And the crazy thing with Miami is Miami made, they shot over, I believe, 45% in the second half, and it didn't matter. Okay, that is the tough thing about this UConn team, where even if you're efficient offensively, the best you can do is match buckets with them because they can get a layup whenever they want. They can dump it into Sonogo. They can let Hawkins or one of their guards kind of isolate, go one-on-one, and then, backdoor cut, great pass, easy layup. I mean, how many times did that happen, right, where, Miami plays good defense for, 24, 25 seconds, then there's a great cut or there's a back screen, and then, UConn gets a layup. I mean, over and over and over again. Like I said, their offense is just so much fun to watch. Now, moving on, San Diego State has to play against this UConn team. I don't know how San Diego State can win this game. I have no idea. okay, because you're not going to keep UConn in the 60s, okay? Like, this isn't, a team like Alabama who relies heavily on knocking down three-point shots where they can have a cold night and you win because of that, like they did when they played Alabama earlier in the tournament. UConn gets so many just easy layups that they're not going to have a bad shooting night because of that. Sure, they may not shoot it well from three, but their ability to dump the ball inside and to get layups off of back cuts, good luck. It's going to be really interesting to see how this defensive-minded San Diego State team goes about trying to defend this incredibly awesome offensive team in UConn. And here's the thing, UConn plays defense too. Like, they held Miami to 59, and Miami's got so many guys who can score the basketball. At the end of the day, San Diego State lacks the offensive abilities to hang with UConn. Simple as that. Okay, San Diego State has, at least two stretches every game where they'll go like 3 or 4 minutes without scoring. And you can't do that and beat UConn. Because they're going to have that 3 to 4 minute stretch, and it's going to be like a 15-0 run. And the game's going to be over. Because UConn isn't going to have a bad stretch like that where they don't score. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So, San Diego State, they're 7.5-point underdogs. There's no way that they cover. Okay, if UConn won this game by 30, I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, I think that Arkansas was a tougher matchup for UConn, and they ran them out of the building. I think Gonzaga was a tougher matchup for UConn, and they ran them out of the building. I think Miami was a tougher matchup for UConn than San Diego State, and they ran them out of the building. San Diego State has absolutely no chance to win this game. No chance whatsoever. That's going to do it here at Shooting the Shmitt. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, do all those things. Hey, look, it is 12:30 here, and I'm popping out a video. Okay, that is worth a subscription right there alone. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know who you have winning in the national championship game. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'll talk to you all again probably after the national championship game.